don't have much time. For decades, India is worried about this population explosion. Suddenly, it's not a problem. Today, our fertility rate is below replacement level. Now, from that problem, has this turned into an actual crisis, or is India simply entering the next stage of economic developments? And of course, the two demographies in a single country, that aspect. Throw some light on that as well.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for having me on the show and for this discussion. See, firstly, I just feel that there's a lot of alarmist discourse that has been spread by people like Elon Musk around the falling
Yeah.
TFR because they're zooming in on one rate.
Yeah.
They're constantly zooming in on this total fertility rate, which is the average number of births that a woman is having. See, there are countries which have a TFR of 5 or 6, but the survival rate of children and the health crisis in those countries means that many of them actually don't even reach the age of 2 or 3 years. And that's why the TFR is higher, because if you have 5 or 6 children, maybe you only 3 or 4 will survive. We are not that kind of economy anymore. We are
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
kind of society anymore. And I think for India, the focus has to be the skilling of our population. We create high productivity workers, we create high innovation economies, we create conditions for women to enter the workforce. The care economy is the single most important investment that India can make. At Nicole Associates, we have estimated, along with the Economic Advisory Council of the Prime Minister, that the care economy can unlock 15 to 17% of the GDP in this country once we bring in more and more private
Wow.
sector innovation into the care economy through childcare, elder care, long term care of highly dependent adults, for persons with disability. So, very honestly, there's a huge market out there to be tapped. And I think this is the time for, innovative Indians, especially women, to come into the workforce, tap that market, and really create a care workforce and a care economy for the world. We can even earn foreign exchange out of it.
All right, all right. Ms. Mutreja, let me come to you real quickly. India's fertility story, it's not uniform. Let's throw some light on that as well. Are we really talking about one India or multiple demographic realities like I presented in the introduction? States like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh remain above the replacement level, whilst several southern states and the national capital far below it.
So, absolutely. First of all, I want to say, Mithali, there's everything you have said. I totally not only agree with, but welcome. As far as India is concerned, it's many, if you look at the NFHS recent data, it's many stories, in fact, almost 30, more than 30 stories in one country. So, if you look at fertility rates too, like it was said in your introduction, there are states that have 2.6 and 2.8, like Bihar, UP, Meghalaya. And then, if you look at not only the population, these TFR, but if you look at the unmet need for family planning, it goes as high as 20 in Meghalaya, 13 in Bihar, 12 in UP. We still have an unmet need for family planning. Two, we have a situation where we have a very large young population, 370 million young people. Either they're at a reproductive age or they will be reaching a reproductive age. And even if everyone has one child, which I am sure everyone's not going to have one child if we don't look after our population. Many women are going to choose not to even have one child. But if they have even one child, our population will continue to increase till 2060. And then the real decline will start. And sometime in the next century, 2011, 2100, we are going to start having to worry. But at this point of time, if we take action, much of what Mithali said, and also for us to start planning for our population, planning for aging, look at issues like jobs. it's not just jobs, it's also skilling, and it's also having a healthy, skilled population.
That's right.
What kind of productivity will India have if 60% of women are
Yeah,
anemic
yeah,
and
yeah.
66% of our children are anemic? These are the things to worry about. All we do is count numbers, alarm on the other side that there are too many children happening overnight.
Yeah.
How can you justify a country's understanding, whether it is from an economic point of view or a demographic point of view or any point of view, that you have a country that's panicking in totally opposite directions?
Yeah.
It's almost like I feel we are schizophrenic. Instead of focusing on seeing, look at the urban rural differentials.
Yeah.
Why do we have 1.6 population in cities and in rural areas, in urban areas, and in rural areas it is still 2.1?